San Luis Obispo has just been crowned as one of the happiest cities to retire in the whole state of California. How is this possible? Is it really true? So I'm going to break down some information for you. I've grown up here. I've raised my kids here, and I'm still here, and I'll probably retire here. But let's see what this whole thing is all about. Here is the news clip that I'm going to play for you right now of what is currently happening in San Luis Obispo with the
Happy in San Luis Obispo, you are not the only one. The city just made it onto another happy places list. This time it made it as one of the happiest places to retire in the United States in 2024. Personal finance company SoFi conducted the report, which ranks San Luis Obispo 9th on the list. According to the report, the city, along with San Jose, scored the highest level of comfort for retirees on the top 20 cities list, all thanks to its temperate climate.
San Luis is in the top 10 bracket, so we came in at number 9, and the one thing that you heard was the weather. So that is a true fact. We have so many microclimates here in San Luis Obispo that if you're looking for a place to retire within California from another state or within California, and you're trying to leave the heat, if you're trying to leave traffic, you're trying to leave smog types of things, when you come here, those things just don't exist. Now, the traffic is kind of picking up a little bit more over the years, but it's nothing like other areas. So I can see why they picked San Luis Obispo, and this isn't our first time. A lot of you come into the area, or if you're thinking of coming into the area, some of you it's just not enough here of amenities or lifestyle attractions for your particular criteria. So, this is just something that came about, and I wanted to bring it to your attention because of course, I live here and I love it here. But if you're going to be retiring in the state of California, take a look at San Luis Obispo, the Central Coast, its neighboring surrounding areas. I'm going to bring up some other articles because this goes way back to before 2011. Oprah Winfrey actually said this was one of the happiest cities in America. Jenny McCarthy came into San Luis Obispo. There's a whole video on that. And I'm going to bring you up some more articles just so that you can see that there is some, data to this. There is some, validity to these things that are being said about San Luis Obispo. So let's look at some other articles for you. This is another clip. It's not necessarily saying it's the best place to retire, but it is saying about San Luis Obispo being the happiest place on earth. Okay, this was 13 years ago, and we've just been recently, nominated for retirement here as one of the happiest places. So I think the main thing that I'm just trying to tell you that we're pretty happy around here for the most part. So let's just take a look at this clip because I thought it was pretty interesting, and I wanted to share that with you.
City was San Luis Obispo in Central California, and then the happiest place in the world, Aarhus, Denmark, northern part of Denmark, second biggest city.
Now, of course, this begs the question.
All right, so that was 13 years ago. Still, people are talking about San Luis back then, and I just wanted to share this one with you. And then we've got the more recent one here. 2023, San Luis County is one of the 10 best places to retire in California. And this is also from another organization called Smart Asset. So why they're basing it on access to medical care, burden, and opportunities for recreation according to a news release. So we do have a good healthcare around, but it's just across the board in the whole state of California. Is you got to find your primary. It takes time. So if you're moving to the area, you need to really get on a list that might take 3-6 months, maybe longer, to find your primary. So I will be honest with you in that aspect. But we do have pretty decent healthcare right here in this county. So if you're looking to retire in San Luis, hopefully this brings some comfort to you, some validity, like I said, something of substance to consider San Luis. Now here's another graph that I wanted to bring up to you is our demographics here, so that you can see in San Luis Obispo County, in the South County and SLO, which is SLO. here we are. The median age is 44. However, 60 through 64 and 65 plus is the majority of the population, which is 66,000, because the seat of San Luis proper, is our biggest city here in San Luis Obispo County on the Central Coast. So again, the population of this demographic for retirees is quite prevalent here in our area. So again, the main factor, I think, for this kind of being the happiest place, or it is nominated as the happiest place, is because people come here as retirees, and we have our mild climate. As I said, we're in the 70s most year round. If you're near the coastal cities, you're going to have the coastal influence, or you can go up to North County where you have heat, and if you want to get away from the coast and the fog, then you can go to those areas. So different pockets within the county area for you as retirement. Our biggest planned development that we have is called Trilogy in Nipomo, which actually was on Jeopardy with Alex Trebek, indicating that had the best weather in the area, or in the United States, I believe. That was a Jeopardy question. And Nipomo has a really awesome facility there, Trilogy. It is a golf community. However, you don't need to be a golfer. They've got pickleball. They've got a whole art studio. They have biking trails, hiking trails. It's very nicely paved, and just a whole plethora of things going on all the time. Book clubs, card game clubs, and just a whole calendar of things that you can do at that planned development. And I'll leave a link to that as well for you. So this is just a segment to just kind of put a bug in your ear about San Luis Obispo being the happiest place to retire. And if you're considering it, there's so many different pockets within here. Reach out anytime to discuss which one could be for you. Again, so we talked about weather. So now we talked about the medical facilities. If you need more in-depth care, then you can go to Santa Barbara. Santa Maria is south of San Luis Obispo, and it's only about 30 minutes, and it's in the northern part of Santa Barbara County. You can receive other medical care there, specifically if you need a more in-depth, something specific. Or you can go 3 hours any direction to Los Angeles or San Francisco and get other care in those areas as well. Otherwise, we have Dignity Health, we have Oro Grande Hospital, and we have Marion Medical Center in Santa Maria, again, only 30 minutes south of San Luis Obispo. So you will have medical care around you to facilitate anything that you may need during this chapter of your life. And again, if you have family that's living in the higher density areas for work, raising their family and whatnot, this could be a really nice spot for you. Another thing that we have going on that retirees love here that might work for you is, we have arts, we have, because of the colleges, whether it's our community colleges, Hancock and Cuesta, and our university, Cal Poly, then you're going to have all those events that these colleges bring in to our area. And again, we have the farmers markets, fresh produce for you all the time. Because of our fabulous weather, we have fantastic produce available throughout the whole county. So I'm also going to bring up right now some other features of why I feel this could attribute to our recent designation of being the happiest place to retire here in San Luis Obispo. So let me bring that up for you. This up on my last video because I love this organization called reach.org, centralcoast.org, and I'll also put a link to it if you want to do a deep dive more on data and things like that. But this I really love, and I didn't really go through it as much on the last video, so I really wanted to bring this to you, our retiree, if you're thinking of moving here, and why. There's just some really great things here for you. So easy commuting throughout the county. So our average commute is 21 minutes throughout the whole, wherever you end up landing within the Central Coast, San Luis Obispo County. We're talking about San Luis proper itself, about it being the happiest place to retire. So anywhere where you're in San Luis, you're going to be able to go to concerts up in Paso Robles and do all the wine tasting. So it's about a 20, 30, a little bit farther. Paso's a little bit north. But the average commute anywhere is 21 minutes. And that's to get to the beaches, to come to South County, to go to the scenic beaches like Morro Bay, Cambria, Cayucas, and all of those. So, here it says 29% lower than the state average and 36% lower than the Bay Area average. Means you can spend more time doing what you love, not stuck in traffic. And if you're stuck in traffic, take a look at what you're looking at. So very comforting, obviously, to have this type of landscape when you're in your car driving, or even if you do get stuck in traffic on the 101 or the 46, the 41, whatever it may be, or the Pacific Coast Highway 1, this is pretty much what you're going to be taking in. Very different from living in the city area. All right, so we have our pristine coastline. So we utilize the 101 a lot, which is our main, highway here. So this is what you're going to be seeing, a lot of the coastline as you're driving through that. So we have 200 miles of pristine coastline paired with an annual average of 300 days of sunshine. Means that you'll be mostly outside and it's going to be well spent. So clean air, nice air, just a lot of places, like in the Central Valley, you're in a bowl, so a lot of the air quality is low. So we just don't see that. And during the spring, the wind does pick up here. If you have allergies, that might pick up a little bit, but I think you can kind of deal with that. There's pros and cons. All right. Farm Fresh Fare. So 21 weekly farmers markets across the region offer nationally recognized restaurants the ability to curate from the bounty of flavors grown in our region. So again, we're talking about San Luis Obispo. San Luis Obispo itself has the #1 farmers market that puts us on the map for California. And those are on Thursday nights. So if you're coming into town, exploring San Luis Obispo as perhaps a place for you to retire, then I suggest you try to come during that time from your Airbnb, your hotel, whatever. Take a Uber, I was going to say taxi, Uber, Lyft, and make your way downtown. Get dropped off. It's just easier, so you don't have to maneuver with the parking. It does get really congested. That's one of those times that you will see high congestion because we have our little area is pretty small, and we just don't have a lot of parking. We do have some parking structures, but just take a ride down there and have a good time. And be sure and take food back with you if you want. There's food that you can eat there from the local restaurants. Get a tri-tip sandwich. Tri-tip is an exclusive meat cut that we have in our area for the Santa Maria style barbecue sandwiches, tri-tip sandwiches. So that is my recommendation. Go down there with an appetite, good walking shoes, and just put on some sunscreen. The sun could be in and out and you just don't realize it. And just be prepared to take in all the seasonal vegetables that we have in our area. So that would be something that would be at your fingertips all year long here, hence probably making us pretty happy because we're living a healthier lifestyle here. So let's go on to open spaces. 1.5 million acres of protected open space, park, and 1,500 miles of hiking and biking trails. Means that you'll never stop exploring in your own backyard. Now this is exploring the whole Central Coast. So, specifically targeting San Luis Obispo in this video, but the whole Central Coast has all of these things throughout available. A ton of hiking trails. If you have the app for the hiking trails, you can utilize that. But we have the Madonna, we have Bishop's Peak, tons of trails. Even just walking on the coastline is amazing. Caña de Oro, which is world renowned. Place to go see in Morro Bay, Los Osos area. So tons and tons of outdoor trail to run in, bike in. Mountain biking is huge here in our area too, to include all the water sports and all that good stuff with the beach, that we have the kayaking, the stand-up paddle boarding, surfing, kite surfing because of our high winds. So it just goes on and on, So if you're healthy and outdoors all the time and enjoying, getting your vitamin D, you're going to be pretty happy, so that's a good thing for us. So going on to arts and culture. So we have here, this is actually in Paso Robles. Remember the name right now? Oh my gosh. It's the Sensorio. There you go. So it's these light bulbs here, 58,800 stemmed lights covering 15 acres of Paso Robles rolling hills. We have 4 historic missions and 1 iconic castle, Hearst Castle, that was built by William Randolph Hearst. And one of our mission in San Luis Obispo proper is older than the Constitution in 1776. So that is the beginning of our arts and culture scene. So we have a lot of that, our culture, a lot of history here in San Luis proper specifically. We had our first hotel here in the United States, was in San Luis Obispo. Like I said, the mission is older than the Constitution. We were the first city to ban smoking years back, probably a couple decades, I would say. Here in San Luis Obispo, and there are no drive-throughs in the city of San Luis Obispo. So lots of kind of fun things like that, which I get spills over to us being happy. And then here we go, wine country. Can't Obispo video without talking about wine country. So 400 wineries and a plethora of breweries. Yes, we like our spirits. Firestone is up in Paso Robles, and we have so many craft beers throughout. Cideries and distilleries where you sample the spirits and meet the makers. So yes, all of these breweries, they really like to connect with the community and really take their time in explaining how they came about, what they're all about, how they started everything. So that is a common theme throughout our county, and specifically in San Luis. You're going to have little wineries there that you can go to at any time. We have lots of things downtown, breweries that you can go visit and take that in if that's your pleasure. Otherwise, we have coffee shops, we have tea places. There's a specific place in San Luis that just offers, fantastic teas. I'll also put a link to my favorite magazine from SLO Cal that really breaks down other areas around San Luis, but it does also give you a lot about San Luis, and I'll also put the link for the San Luis Chamber. So because of these things that I'm just sharing with you today is an example, something to, give you value here to show you what San Luis Obispo is about if you're considering retiring in San Luis Obispo proper. Now you're going to have the college vibe. Again, you're going to have concerts that you can go to here, and we also just have your demographic here. So, you're going to fit right into the community. And if you are a gardener, because of our weather, because of our soil, our climate, and everything, you are going to be just experiencing the greatest opportunity to garden here in our area, San Luis Obispo, or anywhere else. I love living in the Central Coast. I love living in San Luis Obispo County. Now, as a retiree that, people that are doing research, we have been just nominated for number 9 for the happiest place to retire in California. So if you want to explore the area, you know what you need to do. You just need to reach out day, evening, weekends. It does not matter, because I have your back when you're moving to the Central Coast, California. So until the next video, we'll catch you later.